Welcome back, one and all. It's the Awesome Premier League North American Division, Lobby 1, Game 1. Hanging out with little Fuzzy Seal. I guess it's actually Fuzzy Seal now. He's all grows up. And of course, Skyline on the Observer camera. Seal, I just flew in, and boy, are my vocal cords tired. But I'm excited about seeing some North American play. We got some good teams on the roster tonight. We got Totality, United, Space Station, Duel, Tempo Storm, fresh off of Star Ladder, Cloud9, fresh off of Star Ladder, MLGB, Envious, a great list of teams tonight. What are you excited about seeing?
I'm excited about a lot of teams, specifically God Squad and Nova. I've been following them for a little bit. They've been saying that they've been improving the strats, but specifically on a macro level, I am super excited to be seeing just how everyone is going to be performing and maybe even changing up their play for just the post big game season. I'm wondering if anyone learned anything. I'm wondering if anyone just was inspired by any plays they saw, and if we'll be seeing them today.
So early on, everyone's going to go for those cars and try to get their rotations in and underway. We've got Mr. Blown Apart and Binlong looks like they're going to get Milta to themselves, while Nova goes for the Milta Trash. What do you think about the Milta Trash drop?
Well, it looks like Milta Trash will soon be turning into Milta Power because no one went for it. Sometimes Milta Power is contested, in Milta Power and Milta Trash being two different things. But it looks like in this case, because they did get both, they should be more than kitted to get this game. Cars and vehicles galore for them.
Cloud9 with the South. So this is interesting. I'm curious to see what they do tonight. Cloud9 traditionally has been doing the sort of south of Pachinki trash loot strat. At Star Ladder, they switched it up and started to go to Primorsk instead, and said that they really enjoyed that. So I'm curious to see if they stick to that system or if they stay with their trash looting here in Awesome. So we're going to jump over to Totality, who looks like they are doing a little bit of a trash loot strat just out in the Gatka Fields, an area that Tempo Storm generally likes to drop in.
Yeah, looks like Totality. Ooh, actually showing up right here as Moody rolling up on this buggy. I'm not sure if these players have guns. No, they have one weapon. So this play that just got off his parachute, Smithy is going to be in a lot of trouble. He's pretty much already dead.
Yeah, that's why he's taking off at the speed of sound, but Moody misses the jump. And that may buy him just long enough. Remember, he can't shoot through the chain link very effectively, so Moody is going to be on the chase. Frex is following. He'll open up with the spray, gets a couple of tags. Frex looks like he's going to go in for the punch down if he can try to get his hands on it. Following Smithy around, grabs the pistol, loads it up. Smithy runs outside. It's a shootout. Frex goes down and dies. Oh, no. Vengeance is Moody's, but at what cost?
Oh, that's such a rough start as well, because you saw that first one that ran in. If he had the rifle instead, that would have been a free kill, but that player with the AK just lagging by a bit too far. Moody is definitely kicking himself for that start.
Yeah, Frex decided to go for the pistol instead of trying to get the finish punch, or just sort of stand on the outside and make sure no one exited instead of letting Moody chase on. I don't think they expected him to load and come back in so quickly. So a bit of a quick loss. Unfortunate for C9, but we've seen them bounce back from worse. Take a look at the spread right now. Big circle over on the east side. It looks like it's going to be that mansion circle. A lot of fun options as this one starts to close. The other thing that stands out to me, Seal, is the circle is about 30% water. What does that mean for these early game rotations?
Well, specifically, it means that boats are going to be in play and that the compounds that are in, the number of them will be reduced. Because there's so much water in play, yeah, you can get a boat and just kind of chill out there for a while. You don't really see many people do that anymore because nowadays, people will be fighting for that terrain on the inside, or at least trying to claim something. So that way, they're not just waiting for the inevitable D-Day beach landing that'll get them killed. But what it does mean is that for the teams that are on the coastlines right now, specifically I'm looking at God Squad on Sosnovka, they will be able to take that boat if they have to get over there to, say, Lepavka or somewhere over there. And if they don't find any cars, they don't find any good cars, or if they're just feeling spicy, they have more options.
Oh, we got a little bit of a fight out here. It looks like Czech Shooters putting in some works, knocking on Wildcard. Two very good teams going head-to-head a lot earlier than they'd like to. So Wildcard did lose a player to Czech Shooter, who went ahead and got a nice takedown with that M16. Here comes another one, though. Let's see how this fight breaks down. Is this a 1v1 in the area?
It was a 2v1, but he instantly went for that finish, which is actually kind of really interesting. Sometimes we see teams go for that, but sometimes it's oftentimes punished if you go for the instant finish on your down rather than looking for more targets. Ashik is going to be alone here, though, and I just said it is a 1v1. There is no real advantage, but looking at that minimap, I see a teammate to the north that's trying to wrap around at Czech Shooter's left flank.
Yeah, absolutely. So Ashik's going to try to keep him busy while Kickstarter moves into a better rotation position. Check shooter looks like maybe he has an idea that it's happening. Slides out to the left side using that M16, been popularized since Starladder. Jeems committed to it and the most kill counts per player in that tournament. In fact, you can go find a video of him getting, I think, like 8 kills with it. So we've seen the growth of the M16 sort of coming back a little bit in force. But that said, I believe that's an M4 on the backup who's come right now. I think it's Kickstart to help out Ashik. Who finds himself in a tough position. Now, Czech has no idea that he's coming.
Yeah, and looking at his health bar, it looks like Ashik has already managed to bruise him a little bit. He has some first aid, Check shooter does, but at this point, he's not even looking to his north. A couple shots will be ringing out. He's just trying to charge Ashik, goes up to the window. We can see him peeking.
Oh, he's being surrounded on all 3 sides. There's the last man, too. He's now got 3 wild card as the third one comes driving into conflict at this point. So now it's 3 wild card, giving 1 envious, and I don't think that we envy him at this particular moment as he's now pinned down inside of the house trying to figure out how do you take on 3 members of Wildcard Gaming. Wildcard, a team that has been seeing astronomical growth in performance lately. Look at them moving in as a squad. They can smell blood. The Sharks are circling.
Oh, we can on opposite sides of the window. They spot him out. They're just coming out, trying to see if he can take one with them, but will not be able to finish Kickstart. Runs at the building with the super aggro play, but not quite able to make it work. But my question right now is that Envy didn't decide to come help Check shooter. Where are they at right now?
I wish that I could tell you it's not there on Check shooter, that's for sure. And Bold, kudos to him for that push out. He was going for the 1 kill, maybe finish the job, and then hope to run for the hills, but it did not pan out. Nova over by Milta Power. Like you said, Milta Trash does become Milta Power, and it becomes a care package. So kudos to those guys who are sitting pretty inside of the Milta circle as well. Not a lot of rotations required for that. Now, we've seen a lot more deaths than we're used to seeing at this stage of the game. 57 alive. Very interesting as we should start to see the rotations out pretty soon. Look at the spread from Tempo Storm. They've got South George Hospital, West Coast, and I believe Primorsk all the way down there is where Valiant was looting. So Tempo Storm doing very classic, yep, just north of it. So Tempo Storm with a very classic tempo spread. It didn't work that great for them all of the time in Kiev. We saw them struggling a little bit. They did take home a couple of wins, but it seemed like it made it tough for them to get those rotations. I think the 1.5 AR spawn that you see in Awesome, though, definitely lends itself to this style of play. And by the way, there's the rest of Envious.
Oh, driving away on a bike. It looks like that. Oh my goodness, look at those health bars. If any of the damage went on to the same player rather than the spread that it got, then there'd be 1 player that's dead. Look around, we see 1 player already without a helmet, but getting out off their bike. They hear a couple of cars ran by to their south. They're trying to find an angle here. It looks like Frolicker is trying to press the issue here.
Yeah, so C9 is going to play a little bit aggressive. It sounds like Caden would prefer to take, I don't know, it sounds like he wants to take this fight, but it's going to put them in a 2v3. They have to assume it's a 2v4 because they don't know yet that it's C9 and who has lost somebody. But early on, they get a good shot there. They tap solid, trying to force him backwards. Katsuko splits out from Caden, but Caden already low again. Getting sprayed down by Solid. He's got that AK with the red dot, and all he's got to do is hit 1 more shot there. Katsuko does go down with a nice shot from Moody, and now Solid will start the right flank. Frolic will go right up the middle, and Caden is just going to have to hide in the bushes, try to get himself healed back up with nothing but a scar and a prayer, hoping to kick his team a little bit farther into this match.
There is a third player, I believe Jesse, out of the northeast of all of this. He's coming to try to help his team, but might be too little too late. Caden getting shot, the down player going down. He's trying to return some fire, but will not be getting the down in response. 3-man push with 0 casualties. Jesse Law not part of this fight as well on the high ground, realizing he is all alone and might have made a mistake. He's getting shot in the back, running for the hills and Everest, but that is not an easy cliff to climb up. Shots chasing him up this hill. He just needs to get to cover.
He'll get to cover. He'll go for the heal, but now he's got to worry about the 3-man push again. Caden going to be left for the Sharks to bleed out slowly as Frolicker heads up the hill very aggressively. C9 has increased their aggressive play tenfold. Again, you can see him spraying down very nicely. Frolicker's got him with that 8x M4 and doing the work that needed to be done. That'll finish them off. Envious will leave the game, and C9 will roll in the loot that they've gotten. But I think C9 has really increased their aggression lately.
Yeah, a super early aggro play. We don't normally see this that often. I think that Envious was about as surprised as we were that Cloud9 was as willing to take that fight. And remember, Cloud9 was the team that lost a player early on. So this was a team that they lost a player, and what was the response? Let's take more fights early. Let's see how that works. And for them, perfect. They didn't even take a single casualty in the 3 versus 3.
I think we're going to see this a lot coming out of Kiev, especially that sort of teams adopting the Liquid chaos. And I don't want to say Liquid was totally chaotic, but they definitely took a lot of teams fights early on. We're always looking for those kills to sort of realized how valuable kills are in tournament formats. Ozum is no different. So I think a lot of these teams are kind of learned from watching and are going to be bringing a lot of that aggression into the online play formats. The M24 coming down looks like Tony V from E United is very interested in getting his hands on that. And if he does, I think probably one of the most popular sniper rifles in the game. Some players prefer it even over the AWM.
Yeah, I've certainly got a lot of bullets using that 7.62, and it looks like E United, as you said, Tony V getting this one completely uncontested. Those guys in Mansion and those fellows, I think, it's Render down the Lumberyard, not too interested in contesting that. We haven't talked about the zone much yet, though, Toffees, and because this current zone that we have is an area that is classified by how many compounds it has. You're gonna be one of the guys that's in Mansion, that's in one of the hilltop compounds. You're gonna want to already have a place that you can sit nice and pretty in. But what I'm seeing right now is that because of how eastern this initial zone is, we're seeing quite a few teams that are not yet ready. I think I only counted 3 or 4 teams of our 15 that are currently in that are currently ready to just kind of chill and see what happens in the next few zones.
It's surprising to me. Normally, when you have a circle that's only about 40% playable, 60% playable, teams tend to want to go get those strategic positions early on. The high houses, for instance, that are east of Mansion are completely unoccupied. We've seen a lot of teams win out of that area. Yasnaya is completely empty. Arguably, the teams probably assume someone is in there currently, but all those strategic compounds, even north of the Mansion, are unoccupied at the moment. Maluk is putting a little bit of work on Moody as Moody goes by. I like the compound. I like the tempo sort of moved up here in this sort of migrational looting system. Now, this is a better circle. So we've removed a lot of the water. There is still the escape clause for those who need it. Mill to Power is still technically in play. Mill to Rock's very strategic if you get the final circle. But those high houses to the east of Mansion, I think, are really going to be king mode for whoever can get to that.
Looks like it's already grabbed, actually. The players that were in Mansion decided to head over there right now, but already a couple teams trying to use the force as cover. We see Uncivils of Shoot to Kill trying to take some shots at FlyQuest as they drive on by. Looks like they're just cruising over here, but a lot of the compounds, as they get closer into the center, they're going to realize they're already taken. That being said, United spotting them out. FlyQuest know that they can't crash that set of 4 compounds. That's the best spot in the zone. They're too greedy to assume that they can't stop here. But over here, these hills above prison should be a great spot for them to call home.
They're good. I don't like the flank potential of somebody coming up around Crater. It's obviously something that can catch you out or coming down from the lumber mill, because anybody who's coming through lumber mill probably isn't driving. So that is where your sort of weak position is here, is the possibility of getting flanked silently. And you can see already we do have a team up there in the lumber mill, potentially going to be coming in this direction. Mansion has been completely abandoned. And now we just get to see Light Show and Imasi also rolling up on the Crater position at the moment.
Yeah, but looks like it's getting pretty spicy. One team already on the east side, another one rolling up to the west. They're stopping a little bit early just in case it is in fact occupied, just playing as safe as they can, while 2 other members proceed on further. Looks like they're not quite sure if they want to stop here, though. The cars are still driving by. They're still trying to just scout out a little bit. But FlyQuest is showing up, looks like a little bit behind the rest of his team, barely able to skirt on by. Looks like he almost got killed by the Mansion boys.
Yeah, something went on as he went by, and I think Shoot to Kill was sort of like Shoot to Tickle the first time that FlyQuest went by, but the second, they definitely tried to live up to their names and take him out. That said, he did make the transition. Now we're going to go ahead and see Purdy, the remainders of Totality making their way over. Remember, we lost Smithy early on in this game in sort of a weird 1v1 pistol shootout, old Western style with Cloud9. So Purdy on the trike, going to be coming in. Now, I like where they stop here. They're going to use this, scout the area, make sure that they don't have any nearby threats. It's got a good dip, good rock cover, and a nice area to sort of outside the circle to know no one's camping these houses right here, right? So you can sort of figure out where everyone is, try to get some information. Unfortunately for them, Wildcard is right across the line.
They already got it down as well, even with only a couple of 2x's. We can see Kickstart being one of the contributing members to that down. One is still currently up behind that tree, a little bit hard to quite see if they can maybe find an angle from here. But in this little western edge compound, it looks like Wildcard has been able to effectively gatekeep Totality, at least putting some damage on one of the remaining members.
You're going to have to burn out, it looked like 3 smokes to go ahead and get this res. They'll probably fall back to the trike immediately and just drive away. Smart way to go. Good shooting by Wildcard, which shows us just why a lot of people favor them in the North American region. Great at taking those engagements and rarely missing the engagement shots.
Over here on the north, we can see Zampa It's a squad pretty close over to his east. I'm not sure if he actually hasn't even spotted them, despite the UAZs all lining up. Okay, he sees them now, bobbing left and right, and I'm wondering who is gonna take the first shot. Who's gonna spot each other first? Tempo Storm here on this hill. They're looking for a fight here.
So the first shot's almost always taken by Zampa if Zampa is around. This guy loves to frag. That's what he wants to go out for. Puts the lean on. Already starting to fire. There you go. Get that 8x M4. Loves it. Already going to put some work into the UAZs and say, if you're not going to come out and fight me, I'm at least going to take away your vehicles.
Yeah, just say, all right, you're not gonna find me. Just ruin your life. You have to walk or swim in or something. This is not an area where you want to be transitioning on foot, especially if you're trying to crash a combat. But it looks like he might have overstayed his welcome a little bit. A lot of shots ringing out towards him, and yep, that is the call. All right, get out of here, guys. They're to shoot. Let's go do something else with our time.
I like where they put their cars much safer position. They can heal up. They can sort of defend their area. The spot the other team has is great. I love those rocks, but like you said, it's a tough place to rotate out of if you don't have vehicles. So definitely nice play by Tempo Storm. Now we got some shootout going on up in the mountains. There's that circle established itself as Mansion Prison. E-United is ecstatic, like kids who just got a candy bar right now. They're in a really good position here inside. Now, I think the uphill houses are still playable, but they're going to they'll probably hold that and then play the edge coming out. It's going to be United's game to just sort of blow everyone up on the transition.
There's going to be a lot of people playing edge in this game, Toppies, because the northern half of this zone that sort of separates with the road, all of that's unplayable besides Mansion and the compound scattering the western side. All of that stuff in the middle, there's like a crater that can be played. I think Nova might be headed to right now, but besides that one spot, it is all nothing. Open fields and plains, and Nova already making their move. They might be losing one here. He's getting pretty close to Theris here on the hill. Richie, flipping with his buggy as the D will. Oh no! Sticks the landing though, but that's not going to be enough. United spotted him out, detonating that buggy. One member from Nova will not make the transition.
Yep, they took the tire out, flipped the car. The guys, Moody and Cloud9, actually already got to the Alamo, which is where I think Nova was thinking about heading. They ended up grabbing that crater that you talked about. Though it was really fun watching EU not only shoot out the buggy, but it's rare that you get to sort of see the tire flip, right? And that's the new mechanics we got at 1.0. The idea that cars sort of have a little more of a real-world physics. And it was actually fun to see them shoot out the front tire and send that thing flying.
Right here, though, we can see the God Squad. These guys are fraggers extraordinaire. Wildcard is in the Wizard Tower right next to him. I'm not sure if God Squad spotted Wildcard, but Wildcard definitely knows that there's someone to their southwest. I'm looking at the minimap right now, Toppies. They're going for a 2-1 split. I think one in the shed, two here in the Wizard Tower.
Yeah,
they're going to have to figure out what's going on here because they will need to move into Wildcard. A couple shots being exchanged now.
It's a nice trade out. You never want to have everybody inside the tower. Little Prodigy takes 2 shots to the head. He's gonna have to fall back and go for the reload. Not happy about that, but God Squad can't seem to find a way to push in on Wildcard. They hold both of the buildings. The only way they're getting in there is if they get a good solid knock that forces a fast res. But I don't see Wildcard even being willing to sort of go for that res until after they've sort of pushed God Squad back down. So this could be a very tall order for them. They can't slide to the right. They've got 2 teams inside the lumber mill grouping, so they're kind of stuck in that area as well. God Squad could find themselves facing the end of their game.
God Squad is one of the best teams at taking these edge fights, though. So if they can't win this 3v4, they might think that they should change their style anyway. But looking over here in the northeast side, I'm seeing a couple of downs come out for SSG. It looks like they're having some problems.
Yeah, SSG in a little bit of a transition phase. We'll see how they go as the circle continues to close. But let's jump back over and see God Squad still trying to figure out how to make this push happen. I do like the 2-1 split in this situation. If they get the knock on 1, that could open the door for entry. But he is playing very, very careful. I believe that's Ashek that's by himself.
I don't think he's even peaked at this point. He's been trying to be very quiet. And right now, Sharpshot and Little Project that they're playing, they don't think anyone's in here. Being a little bit cautious. Actually, no, they certainly do. Blowing out the door. I think I saw a frag being primed as well. Thrown through, but I don't think it got its way through the hole.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
The self-frag. Sad Panda. Ashik thinking about coming out. He knows the knock happened on their own team. He's interested in trying to pushing it in. He's going to come out, take some fire from the opponents. It looks like Pistola time off in the distance playing cover. He's not going to be able to push out, so they do manage to get the res up after a bit of a mishap. Ooh, Ashik goes for the spray, got that 8x on the Scar, but he takes a shot there. Nice hit on the transition.
Frag will be downing him, but now God Squad, they've taken a little bit too long here. 1-for-1 down trade. Now, though, Ashik, he has no one in his Wizard Tower or in the air that can revive him. God Squad barely getting these downs in time, securing the western side. Down coming out as well in the Watchtower far up. So the God Squad, they realize now that they can just run out here, make a full push as long as they want. They have 10 whole seconds of freedom while Wildcard gets their downs up.
So Wildcard is back up. They've got 2 players inside the Harry Potter Tower with Pistola Time going to start to roll right up onto the ridge. Nice position here. Down low, they know exactly where their opponents are. They know that the bike is still there, so there's no exit strategy for Wildcard anymore. And now they've got the numbers on God Squad. So what was a great Wildcard position has rapidly become a Wildcard coffin waiting to happen.
Yeah, and look at this. They got their down up. They're all lining up on this ridge. We can see over here on the first floor. He's no helmet, kind of itching to jump out these windows. And a Molotov coming through. We've seen some sick Molotovs from the God Squad before. Looks really bad for Wildcard.
Yeah, it was a retention Molotov. They blocked the door so they could push the bottom. They get to Mai, which means Kickstart is stuck inside. His only option is out the window. He finally has the door free again for Peaks, but it's going to be Pat with another grenade tossed up there. That was a flash. Just sort of throw him off of his game, it looks like. And he's going to have to tuck into the back door. Oh, this is bad.
It looks like the Gods were trying to fall back for that revive. Oh, one more shot would have got him. Kickstart not quite getting there. But I'm looking at the minimap right now, Toffees. Look at that northeast. There's a third squad that's looking to kill everyone part of this. Render looking like they want to take down either Godswood, Wildcard, or both, whoever ends up walking away from this.
Yeah, Render definitely looking to play a little bit of cleanup. You can see him moving in, finding a good position here. Walt Jr.'s legs got that 4X queued up to go. They don't know that they're here. They've been throwing so many grenades. They've been doing so much pre-fire that it's really just summoned the dogs of war, and the guys are going to be here to play cleanup. That's 4 easy kills, and they did take a couple of shots there. It looks like Sharpshot HD was giving a bit of a warning.
Yeah, but looking at this, the Gods, they had a pretty good fight for the first part, but now Render is giving them what for? A little prodigy going down a second time, down and out this time. Render, though, not without their own casualties. It looks like they might be getting flanked from their own northeast side, and now the Gods with just grabbing these bikes that weren't even theirs to begin with, just accommodating those, grabbing those, trying to retreat northwest. But looking at the zone, they don't really have a clear place they can go that's safe.
Yeah, no, there's not really any spot to go. They're going to have to drive through the CeeLo Green Eye Mossy sort of compound here in a minute. They'll stop and get some heal up. Render taking fire from over near the crater. Paradox getting some shots on Totality as we'll check them out. Or Totality in an okay position here. FlyQ taking some shots at Big K, who's going to go into the crater. No one ever wants to drive into crater. That's a tough place to come out of. E United still very happy in their new position. They left the houses, moved more central. Mr. Blown Apart left for dead. Anthem going to try to get him up. I don't know if the smoke will pan out.
You know who's not happy with the current position? That's Render right now. They have a player coming up from the southeast. Look at the minimap. There's a player from the Godswood. I think that might be Pistola Time, who's right here by these streets. He sees the smoke's come out. He's at 1 HP looking for the spray down. Spots Bando, but being at 1 HP is pretty close to 0 HP, and that's what Bando is more than willing to make happen here, clearing their southern side. But look at the minimap. There's a squad right to their north. That's the entirety of Team Gates that is looking to finish off a already diminished Render.
Yeah, I mean, Render is taking some fights. They did a good job of clearing out behind them. Now they want to push. CeeLo got a good shot there, got the first knock. Looking for a second in the downstairs of the Wizard Tower. It's been Wizard Tower fight after Wizard Tower fight in this game so far. Render stuck behind a tree playing piggyback, but not a lot of cover. Nice little peek. CeeLo looks for it. They almost got C, but it was a good fast lean there.
The zone continuing to provide literally no cover to our teams. That one compound is pretty much all that there is.
And of all the compounds to be in, that's the one. They call it Alamo because it's so defensible. You can keep your cars in position. You can block every angle. So C9 very, very happy in there. It's also difficult to crash. You can't drive directly in outside of those 2 gates. So that means that any team that crashes has to crash outside the wall, which gives C9 a distinct advantage in terms of queuing grenades and being ready to play. So Cloud9 very, very happy with their situation inside of the Alamo. It's rare that you get to have this late in the game. And then to tempt them out, Player Unknown delivers a care package in the kill zone. The biggest threat to holy cow, what a care package.
That's a lot of scopes right there. If C9 didn't have any scopes before, they certainly will have some now. But looking over here, there's a squad leaving the garage, and now Wooly making his way in, as well as a couple of guys from that little Wizard Tower squad that's Team Gates. A lot of players trying to send out scouts to secure early positions. FlyQuest as well, that they were previously on the Prison Hill. They sent a couple of guys out to the west to try to secure this. There are quite a few solos and duos that are out here. Meanwhile, Render, they're now trying to push into this Wizard Tower. It looks like it's just Bando who is up right now. who's done a pretty good job of himself looking at the downs.
Yeah, taking fire from both sides. So FlyQ is also firing in on them, and now they're going to try to push the tower. Keep in mind, this is all for a tower that is outside of the play zone. That's how aggressive and tough this side of the circle has become. We've got 4 teams at my last count, all fighting for a pointless piece of basically land that they're going to have to abandon anyway. That said, C9 is going to be sniping them from the Alamo. We got another team that's just leaving the warehouse, moving into the open fields. So anybody who's got a grouping of cars is going to feel pretty good about themselves, or they're going to have to run into the open and probably not make it as these teams continue to go head-to-head. Mortify with the mini peak right there.
The last surviving member from Team Gates is just trying to be very, very quiet right now, hoping that FlyQuest below the most walk away. It looks like his sneaky plays actually worked. No one knows that he is here right now, just slowly crouch walking out, peeking out. He spots Paradox through the tree over here, or at the very least, we can see him. He knows that he's there. He's just sort of stealing himself. He knows that there's going to be a hell of a journey ahead of him.
And he starts to come out. He's going to go ahead and take a look at him. They're hiding behind the tree looking at another team. So he does open fire, gets the first knock, goes for number 2, but he's taking damage from the opposite side. The blue tick is too strong. Mortify nearly goes down, tries to heal himself up if he can raise it. Meanwhile, Paradox and the guys from FlyQ taking a lot of damage from the outside, trying to shoot Mortify as he bobs behind the tree. Paradox very, very low, though. Has to go back and try to get his pick up there on Lost HD while Something plays defense and keeps Mortify locked out inside the blue. Mortify going to have to go down here at some point. Meanwhile, Cloud9, happy as clams, taking some shots over a Wooly. They do get the knock there, and they're still 4 strong going into the, I believe, 6th circle.
We lost a lot of teams in that last circle. Previously, we had 10. Now we have 6 teams, which is pretty early in the game to be knocked out. And now 5, 4. What's going on in the kill feed? Looks like it's going to be 3 soon because there's a lot of knocks being had onto the group of fellows on the rock. That's Duel over there that is in so much trouble. Behind the rock down, in the smoke down, and now with Zark getting hit to 1 HP, there are just so many accurate rifle shots being fired in this direction.
Frolicker was putting in some serious work there. Moody finishing the job on most of those guys. FlyQ in the circle, but without a lot of cover. They'll be using that sort of defilade over by the road, and hopefully it'll hold for them. Znark and I believe it's Cayman, the last 2 over here, able to sort of stand their ground, but all they have is a rock and they're outside the circle, so they're going to have to get moving, and Duel in a lot of trouble. C9 does have their cars still parked inside, so they can choose to build themselves a car fort if they want to. That's probably what they're going to go for, maybe try to take that crater or this rock formation up here.
Look at this terrain from FlyQuest. They have a 4-man out. They're spotting players to their east so they can just play defense. They have such a good position in this particular zone, spotting out some players already to their east. Blue hitting a lot of these shots, actually. They have a couple players a little bit further east that might be not in cover, but they're very aggressively trying to make sure that no one gets in the new zone.
All right, Moody going to go ahead and try to find himself this position. There's a little bit of a crater here. He wants to take out Zark. They need to get rid of this 4th team, so it's just going to be Tempo, FlyQuest, and the guys from Cloud9. He's making the push. He thought he saw him. I don't understand. I think he thought he was dead and he was going for some loot. So Zark does manage to take him out, but he goes down in the exchange. Now the question is, can they get over there and try to pick up their partner? I believe they lost him, so Cloud9 down to 3 at this point in a 3-team face-off. It might even be down to 2. It looks like they may have taken some damage here from Tempo Storm.
FlyQuest just sort of content to chill between the 2 teams. On the north side, we saw C9 as well. I think that might be the remnants of Tempo Storm over there on the northeastern side. They're just trying to duel with each other, but FlyQuest looking like they've decided that they don't like Tempo Storm. They're getting a little bit close. That frag looked pretty good.
Perfect. Boom.
Nice.
Doesn't get the knock, but does get the double. Goes ahead and blows up the car. There it is. Zampa finally goes down. Good nades coming out. Valiant has to go prone. He's, I believe, the last man left standing. The next nade will finish the job. Cookovey cooks it up right, and FlyQuest now goes down to 2, or goes up to 4 in 2 teams as they go head-to-head with 2 men from C9. FlyQuest, who was in a tough position and had to fight their way here through the debacle of the south side, is pushing into a very, well, I don't want to say easy win, but a game that they should take home.
Oh, yeah, they did a great job. Over here, Frolicker not looking to go down without a fight, almost taking down one player, something on the left side. Oh, doing a pretty good job staying alive so far. But look at that, there's one player on the far west side. Oh, that did not go well for Solid FPS. It's just Frolicker now.
Just Frolicker, and they know his tree. He doesn't have a lot of options. They're going to start to run the flank. Down he starts to tick very low, and easy peasy. FlyQ takes it home with 4 men left alive and nothing to sniff at. 14 kills. Those guys had to fight tooth and nail to get to where they were in that match.
second place as well with 10 kills going over to C9. That's really impressive, actually. Two of our top teams getting pretty much the most kills in the entire game. FlyQuest, though, definitely deserving that one. As you said, the south side was a complete debacle. They were able to identify that we don't want to be in the north side. There's no cover there, so stick south. And what that means is killing everyone else that also decided that that's what they were going to do. That got them 14 kills, 10 kills before the end game. Did a great job of securing that up until the end.
Well done. 2 goes to Cloud9, 3 to Tempo Storm, 4 to Duel, and 5th to E United. Good games to all. Lots of kills to FlyQ. And if you're going to start off the North American Awesome Premier League tonight, that's the way you want to do it. We got a couple more games coming your way, guys. My name's Toffees. I'm joined by Fuzzy Seal and, of course, our eye in the sky, Skyline. We'll be back with Game 2 in just a few minutes.